What is my darkness? I guess I could also make videos about how to unravel from manipulation. Of course, it just happened today, and I am, I guess, still not sure how it's going to be when I start missing him. But I'm going to focus on something else. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I've tried to end it so many times. Like, I've ended it and we stay, not together, but then somehow we want to still be in each other's lives, and so we end up trying to be friends.
End it, and I have to keep distance because I have ended it before. And it stayed ended, but it always morphs into somehow us trying to make it work. We clearly do not like each other in our current state, or we don't like each other enough, and so we constantly are giving each other advice on what we think the other one needs, but we just need to accept our incompatibility. And stop fighting what is. I think that it's time that I do something different and I don't fall in one of these patterns again. Every time that I repeated the mistake, I did it with different awareness and I did things a little bit differently. In a way, I call this seeing it through. And I saw it. I have to do something different this time. This time I have to end it.
I just don't think that's cool. I prefer not to be upset. I would prefer not to be upset, so I'm going to find something to do that is going to lift my spirit. I just don't know what it is yet. You guys know the feeling, right? Like it's like you're trapped, and but it becomes very upsetting for me. After 4 years, we're still having this kind of argument. So yeah, I'm sad, but I'm going to change that. I record myself, I paint, I make videos. I have a few from other breakups that I have had with this person. Fast forward to today. Today is September 27, I think. I don't know. Today is September 27 of 2024. I have been in this relationship for 5 years. And yes, I definitely learned a lot. But what is obvious to me from watching every single time that I recorded myself, what I noticed is that I seem to be needing permission to have boundaries. I was growing in my spiritual practice, so I was doing a lot of shadow work. And that is why every time I went back to the relationship, I went in with new awareness. So I knew what I had to do better. And what I failed to realize sooner, I guess, is that the environment was the one that was bringing the worst in me. And so I reached a point in which I understood that I wasn't going to feel like I was done with the relationship until I was proud of myself and how I showed up. Part of why I couldn't have uphold stronger boundaries was because when I would do my shadow work, then I would immediately see how, yeah, of course, I'm gonna trigger someone acting like this. Of course, I'm going to make someone feel bad if I handle things this way, even though it wasn't my intention. This is how the other person received me anyway. So I would see that and I would completely drop it, and I would want to completely forget about everything until that point. Like I wanted to start new. And that's how I came in the relationship every time after a breakup. I think we broke up like 8 times in the 5 years that we were together. I don't know if I recorded all of them. I think that after a point I stopped recording them. I stopped recording them because probably I found myself repeating the same thing in each time, and I still wasn't done trying. So I I just stopped complaining, or I just stopped talking about it, and I would just move with a different awareness. So I would go back. Very clear that I needed permission to have strong boundaries. I can see that I am not as sure of myself as I am now about what it is that I want to experience. I I let people convince me that I need to put effort into things, but And I understand that that is true and that is correct. Effort is required for anything worthwhile. But it is just that I don't need to let others choose the effort for me, is what changed. Because I would get confused by people telling me that I needed to put effort, not to be such a princess. I would let that make me feel like I was asking too much. And the reason that I couldn't uphold these stronger boundaries was because I wasn't proud of my behavior. If I have something to say about my behavior, then I seriously just wanted to forget about the past and start new. I was very much capable of doing that. It's just that the other person has to be on the same page. And I think that the other party wasn't doing exactly this, shadow work. I reached a point in that relationship in which I can no longer enable it because being so patient with it is making me feel stuck. And so I've known for a while that certain things are not okay, and I keep giving chances. I keep thinking that the most loving thing to do is to stay. But it reached a point in which now I know how to have my boundaries because I have seen too many times what certain things do to me, and I cannot continue making myself not care about things that I care about. So, yeah, essentially, I reached that point myself. I now am ready to start fresh. I understand my boundaries better, and I don't need to wait for someone to get it. They either do or they don't. Obviously, the first time there's always, the compassionate thing to do is to let someone know. But after after they you told them, then it's a choice to not change. I now know that. And the thing that is also has changed, is that I no longer hold any feelings about it. I definitely, I mean, of course I have feelings about it, but my point is that I don't need to villainize the other party in order for me to be able to walk away. I don't need the other person to agree. Now I understand that. I don't need to argue about it. I don't need the other person to agree. I just need to know that myself. And I think it's going to go way different next time that I am in a relationship. It's going to be way different. I am excited to see, um, because before I seriously thought, well, what would be the most loving thing to do? In I can finally feel like I can focus on what I want out of a relationship instead of focusing on how should I be in the relationship that is the most loving. It was not even about what is the most loving thing for this person. It was mostly like, what is the most loving thing to do, the best thing to do? What is the most loving thing to do, when the most loving thing to do is whatever works best for the person that you want to love? That is what I should be doing, not thinking what's more correct, who's right, who's more correct than the other. Endless arguments about these things that we would get into, but in reality, it's all within a context. There is no right or wrong thing. I'm sure you've heard this before. Everything is neutral. And I have reached that neutrality. I have tasted it. So now I can go back to the way it was. So it will be different. I am happy to say that I am not jaded about love. I'm not jaded about dating. I am excited about it. Hi, sweetie. Don't throw my cards on the floor. Boy. Hi, friend. Oh no, my friend. Yeah, I know how hard it is to navigate dating, learning to love someone else in a romantic relationship, because there's so much information and it's contradicting. And the reason that it's contradicting is because not one tool is for everything or everyone. One strategy, one technique is not gonna be the same for everybody. I think we get into a lot of trouble in relationships because we keep listening to all this advice and we keep getting confused because a lot of the advice contradicts each other. Some people tell you if they're not adding anything, then walk away, and other people tell you, well, slow down. And another person is telling you to work at it, to put effort, to work at it. And so then you don't know which one to do. And it's all about balance, and it's all about actually knowing yourself, knowing what is a yes and what is a no for you, knowing your values, knowing your deal breakers, knowing your preferences. Because a romantic relationship has to include their preferences. It's not just about what's the most elevated way of being, please. It's not about that. It's about how can you love the person that is in front of you. What does that person need to feel loved? That's what it's more about. So I love that there are so many coaches and relationship experts talking about it. The information is not the problem, is that people are not equipped to put it into good practice. And so those people are the ones that need coaches. The people that get confused with this advice and that advice is because they don't quite grasp. They don't quite understand that the mindset that they're at is the whole reason why it's confusing, because everything is true and everything isn't. It all depends on the context, on the situation. There's a lot that goes into which is the best course of action for the person that's asking. That is, it's not the same course of action for you as it is for me. The biggest issue that I see in myself is that I needed permission from someone to tell me, yes, in this case, you can honor yourself. And in that case, maybe you should be more open to changing your mind. So that's why I think I needed a relationship coach. I needed a relationship coach. I am finding how valuable all these people are, because we do need it. We do need it for a period of time. Okay, we all need to be taught for a period of time. There are so many people putting information out there. I love it. It's just that it is very much also confusing a lot of people. And if you are confused, then don't hesitate to hire a coach, a good one that is teaching you how to think, how to understand things, not that is giving you techniques. Like, that's not okay. I I mean, I'm sure they have their place. Some people do not want to make their own choices, but I think that the good coaches are the ones that teach you how to fish instead of giving you the fish, right? You've heard that saying. You know the saying, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him to fish, then he eats forever. Yeah, I I subscribe to that philosophy. I think it's more important to teach people how to think for themselves, because we want them to become what they want to become, gravitate towards whatever they want. And so I think that that is a much more effective way to liberate people, to empower them to make their own choices. A lot of people just listen to other people talk and then they go and adopt that idea because it sounds cool or because it sounds funny. I don't know. So they just go along with it, and now they repeat that stuff themselves. But if you ask why they think that way or feel a certain way, they don't really know. They just know that, well, that's just what it is. It's what everyone does, it's what we do. And, oh, I have I have compassion and understanding for these people because I was one of them before, a long time ago, long time ago. But I also remember how bitter I was. Seriously, when I was young, I would get teased about my bitchy face. My bitchy face. I was bitter. I didn't smile much. I didn't really have many reasons to. But because I was so unhappy, I was so inauthentic. And so I was so bitter. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it helped you. If you identify that you keep falling for the same mistakes I did once, then you can go to my website at artdivination.com to see about how to work with me if you're interested. All right. Thank you.